recovering CPA with PricewaterhouseCoopers, life advisor, successful serial trip, creator, marketer, slightly warped, raconteur, sometimes ungraceful, I can't believe that one, and generally a fun guy to be around. He's going to talk this morning about ideas on increasing your business and your income. Please welcome Chris Copper.
Right. Thank you so much, Steve. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you coming.
How's everybody doing this morning?
Great.
Good, good. Thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it. So what I want to do is, Steve said I have to get you guys out of here by 11 a.m. So I'm going to do my best, right? Okay. Everyone's nodding yes. Okay. So I want to just do a brief summary of what this is all about and what Massive Abundance is about. But first I'll talk to you about myself, tell you about why I was crying, and talk about why I consider there are 3 pillars of real estate sales. And supporting these 3 pillars are the 7 secrets of massive abundance. Massive abundance, and what I have been as a real estate broker for the last 20 years, is to me a real holistic approach to becoming an entrepreneur and becoming a really successful real estate agent, if you will. So I want to talk about that specifically. And the big thing here, especially this is so apropos right now at this time of year, is to talk about how you can use some of these steps in your 2014 business plan. So by show of hands, who's working on their business plan for next year? Okay, we've got a number of people here. That's good. That's good. We should all be working on our plan for 2014, and I hope that you can use some of this information. There's a lot of info here, so I'm just going to go through it really quickly, and hopefully you'll get just a couple tidbits that'll help you, and then give you some action steps that you can use right now. Okay? And then if you guys have any questions at all, if you could just hold it to the end, I'd really appreciate it. Great. So tell me this. Has anybody here in this room had any of these challenges whatsoever? Show me, raise a hand. Do you have unmotivated buyers, not enough time in your day, not enough energy, not enough money to pay your taxes, inconsistent income? Are you sick of working with buyers and not having any listings to show them? Or does anybody here have a bad attitude? Anybody at all? A couple of people have answered. Well, cool. So let me tell you a little bit about myself before I sort of go into the tenets, if you will, of massive abundance. I started with the entrepreneurial spirit at a very early age. When I was in college, I actually was a drug dealer. And I made a lot of money doing it. So that's when I knew that I had the entrepreneurial bent. But the problem was, I'm absolutely serious. Yeah, I'm not proud of it actually, but I'm actually saying this to make a point. Because I made a buttload of money doing it. That's a technical term, by the way. But the problem is that I was using all my product. And so you can't have a successful business as an entrepreneur when you're using all of your inventory. So I figured out real early on, really fast, that I needed to clean up my act. And I had this major epiphany and moved out to California and became a CPA. I actually graduated from a private college, gave up that whole thing, graduated summa cum laude and became a CPA in my very first test-taking time and worked for PricewaterhouseCoopers. And I did that for 11 years. And then with PricewaterhouseCoopers, and I worked in their San Diego office, San Francisco, New York offices, basically what I did is I worked with entrepreneurs, startup entrepreneurs. They call it the Emerging Businesses Group. And so what happened is I was working with entrepreneurs, reviewing hundreds of business plans and consulting with them, telling them what kinds of changes they should make to their business and how they should be running their business. But I realized that I really wasn't passionate about what I was doing because I was working for somebody else. I wanted to be on the other end of that. I wanted to be an entrepreneur myself. And that's when I got into my passion of real estate. And I've been in real estate as a real estate broker, my God, selling real estate in San Francisco right now for over 20 years. I'm still selling real estate there, my team and myself. And we're doing really well. I started in real estate. I don't know how long you guys have been in real estate, but I started in real estate in the cowboy days of selling real estate in San Francisco. So that was pretty crazy back then. We didn't have a lot of rules and a lot of paper. Our files were only this big, and we could do whatever we want. But the other problem, too, is I was really burning the candle at both ends. I was back to my old ways where I was drinking like crazy, getting 3 hours of sleep a night, partying with my clients, doing all kinds of really naughty things that I can't even tell you guys about. And this really takes its toll on you, you know. But then the big epiphany that I had really happened for me, and this was a while back And it was really the genesis of me starting Massive Abundance and writing the books and everything else. And that was, they always tell you, don't be afraid of things that are going to happen in the future. Don't worry about those things that you think are going to freak you out, because it's those random phone calls at Tuesday at 4 p.m. that completely shake the rug out from underneath you. That happened to me. I got that random phone call on a Tuesday at 4 o'clock when the hospital called and they told me that my partner of 10 years had brain cancer. And I can tell you right now that that is just a devastating thing. It's absolutely devastating to hear that. I was completely in a fog. And what I did, I coped by going back to my old methods. There was a bar right next to San Francisco General Hospital, Jack's Saloon, it's still there. And I would go every single night to Jack's Saloon. I'd have a double bourbon on the rocks. I'd drink that, go to the hospital and spend the night. I did that for a year. Not the best way to live. And at the same time, I'm running my business too. And I had this epiphany after my heart started AFibing on me. My cholesterol was off the roof after a year of doing this. Triglycerides, all my numbers, my blood pressure, everything was just nuts. My doctor said, you're going to kill yourself if you keep this up. Did you know there's a Harvard study that says that primary caregivers of people who are terminally ill, like 80% of them pass away in 3 years because they don't take care of themselves? It's really crazy. So I had this big epiphany. The great thing is, my partner of 10 years, complete remission. Yes. So we're really happy about that. But the other thing is I realized, especially at my age, I'm 53 years old, I had to change the way I'm doing my business. I can't run my business like this. Especially, I'm running now 3 businesses. Health has got to be a key aspect of it. Okay, and I want to get into that a little bit too. But the biggest thing that I found out after doing this was that it's really important to take time and make your business very holistic. Don't let the real estate business run your life. You should be running your real estate business. Completely changed what I was doing. I'm doing a lot of traveling. I took my mother to Brazil twice last year, first class. I'm alcohol-free, meditating, making sure that I'm eating clean food, because we all need the energy, especially as we get older, to make this business happen. Making a lot more money. I'm consistently making a mid to six-figure income, high six-figure income in San Francisco, but I'm doing it in about 30 hours a week. And I love taking naps. That's my favorite thing to do. I take naps. I can count the times on one hand this year that I haven't taken a short little cat nap. I'm so proud of that fact. I just love that. But the biggest thing that I learned too is that, number one, you have to be vulnerable with your clients. Being vulnerable and being open with your clients, with your buyers and sellers, and really getting into their heads is going to increase your business. It's going to increase your deals, and it's going to increase your money. Brené Brown, you may want to write this down. She does a great TED Talk. Brené is B-R-E-N-E. Brené Brown has this great TED Talk about vulnerability and how the more vulnerable you are as salespeople, the more you can relate to your buyers and to your sellers, get into their heads and open up with them, the more they're going to trust you and the more they're going to be willing to do what you ask them to do. So being vulnerable is certainly absolutely key. So what this led me to do is I've written a couple books, Massive Abundance, and I'm going to tell you how you can get one, Creating Your Unstoppable Dream Business, and also the 7 Secrets. In addition to that, I also have a web show called The Max Show, and I've been doing this now for about a year. It's Massive Abundance Exposed. It's where I expose the secrets of badass entrepreneurs all over the world. And so what I do is actually interview mostly real estate brokers and entrepreneurs, and I ask them, what's the secret to your business? What are you doing? I've taken this information and combined with the experience I have with PricewaterhouseCoopers and being a real estate broker myself to develop a system, if you will, which I call the Top Producer Blueprint. And it's, again, a very holistic system on how us as real estate agents and real estate brokers can really improve our business, but do it in a way that we're really working with fun clients and we're really proud of, and we're doing it so we're not killing ourselves and making a lot more money and taking a lot more time. Who doesn't want that, right? So I've used all that and developed what I consider to be the 3 pillars of real estate. Now, I put it in the handout, and the whole point of this handout really is from a business planning standpoint to help you guys start your 2014 business plan. So you will have some information that will help you, but this is basically in part of the handout that will talk about how to do your plan, and I even included an example plan too, and I'll come back to this because I know some people are looking at the handouts. 3 pillars of real estate. Proficiency. Obviously, we all have to have the technical skills, right? We need to know what to say to buyers and sellers. We need to know how to fill out the forms. We need to know how to address ourselves with open houses, what to say if you're going to knock on doors or do any prospecting, what have you. Power, to me, is all about having the physical and the mental fortitude to do this business. The problem with a lot of us, and Lord knows I know I was certainly this way, is that we do our business and we don't address the health. We don't address other factors, how they're affecting our business and how they're affecting our lives, actually. And so what you feed your mind, what you feed your body, is going to have a direct relation to what you're going to be reaping from your real estate business. And that's one of the things I think is so critically important. But passion is such an overused word, but I want to talk about what passion means to you. The most important thing, I have interviewed countless entrepreneurs. I have interviewed so many real estate brokers that are making, 7-figure incomes. And I ask all of them the same question. What's the most important thing in your business? And you know what they say? They say it's your mindset, it's your mission. You can call it a lot of different things. Mission, North Star, it's your passion, whatever it is. What is it? Why are you doing this? I would challenge each of you to actually ask yourselves, why or do you want to be successful in real estate? I mean, is it because you want to support your children? Is it because you want to support your husband and wife? You like to travel? What's your passion? What is it that you're trying to accomplish with your real estate business? And why is it that you want to cling on to this? I mean, hey, listen, I'm a real estate broker myself. I know that we all face the shiny object syndrome. As real estate brokers, everyone's trying to dangle things all by us. Buy this piece of software, this is going to make your business great. Make your property statement smaller, that's going to be better for your listings. Make them bigger. There's all kinds of really gimmicky things that we can do with our business. But if we're not really super clear on what our passion is and what really excites us so that we can get through some of those days that take 10 hours and we're wondering why we're working with really silly buyers and sellers, then you're not really going to be fulfilled and you're not really going to be that happy doing this business. So I really challenge everybody to find what is their mindset. Take the time to sit back and to reflect. What is your North Star? What is your mission? In a business plan, speaking about business plans, you only need to have 3 things. I've seen real estate brokers and real estate agents have these crazy ass business plans that are like 28 pages long. You don't need that. You need 3 things. The very first thing in your business plan is your mission. That's all you have to have. You can distill it down. There's an example in the handout. Distill what is your purpose? What is your North Star? Number 2, what are your goals? And number 3, what are your marketing strategies? Those are the only 3 things that you need in a business plan that you need to be constantly looking at. It's a breathing, organic document, so definitely keep that with you. But people always come up to me and they say, well, Chris, I don't know how to find my mission. So I go, okay, let's find your mission. And I came up with a really great way. Actually, I borrowed this from a noted psychologist who said, use your body. And I'll give you a perfect example of how you do this. Is you take everything that you have to do in your business. I mean, list out your open houses, the broker's tours, doing the files, prospecting, cold calling, whatever it is that you have to do. Make a whole list of all the things that you have to do in your business. And then go through each one in a quiet place and see how each thing makes you feel. Okay, see how do you feel like for me, open houses, I can't stand doing open houses. I'm not good at them. You know why I don't like doing open houses? I hate carrying those signs around. Nowadays in San Francisco, you have open houses. They put out like 20 signs. It's like, what are you, nuts? I mean, it's probably really good for traffic, but I got to get a pickup truck to haul all these signs around. Anyways, I digress. So when I think about doing open houses, I feel really contracted. I feel unhappy. I feel, oh God, what a great way to screw up a Sunday afternoon, But when I think about like standing in front of you people or standing and meeting new sellers, meeting new buyers and actually helping them do things, I like prospecting. I personally like calling my sphere of influence and getting them on the phone and asking for referrals. Those things make me happy. They make me feel really expansive. This is a technique that I think that everybody could use to actually find their passion in your business and even outside your business. Figure out the things that you love doing in your business and do that a lot more. And find out the things that you don't like doing in your business and leverage that out to somebody else. Get somebody else to do those things for you. Martin Luther King said, or did not say, I have a goal. Martin Luther King said, I have a dream. You need to get so passionate and so jiggy, as one of my friends would say, that you really are excited about your business again. Get excited about your business all over. So that leads us to the 7 steps of massive abundance, which again I consider to be the foundation, if you will, for the 3 pillars. And I want to talk about a couple of these things. Let me just run through them really briefly because I really don't have a lot of time to go into them. But number 1, we talked about painting your passionate picture, finding your passion. Number 2 is to activate your vision, setting your goals that are in accordance with your passion. Number 3, there are certain things in step 3 that you can manifest. It's steps you can take to manifest your goals into your life. And that I get into that in the book. Number 4 is getting support. That's surrounding yourself with the people and the things and the habits that are going to allow you to bring your goals into existence. Number 5 is to be optimistic. It's very important that we all are optimistic people as entrepreneurs. And I know some people in this room, I meet lots of people, many people in my family, who are not that optimistic. Did you know that the most successful entrepreneurs are the most optimistic people there are? Barbara Fredrickson at the University of Maryland said that you have to, all successful, that she did this based on a study, I think, of 500 super successful entrepreneurs, and said you have to have a ratio of 3 to 1, 3 optimistic thoughts to 1 negative thought. And you can go as high as 11 to 1. I guess after 11 you're just delusional, so. But it's really important that you do become optimistic about your business, and you can learn how to be optimistic, and we talk more about that. Number 6 is to do what prospers you. Again, it's the holistic approach of doing all the things to help your body, help your mind, to make sure that you're the best that you can be for your business and for your family and every other area in your life. And number 7, which is one of my favorites, and that is once you're so bloody successful and you've got all this money and resources and respect and everything else from your colleagues, then it's all about giving back, which is what you guys are doing tonight, from what I understand. So that's what step 7 is. So these are the 7 steps of massive abundance. And I want to just talk about a couple of them real fast. Again, I'm just breezing through these just to give you a couple tips that hopefully this will help you with your 2014 plan. One of the things that I love is I've been able to work this into my own life because I have found that from a passion standpoint, I've always had a common thread throughout my life and my passion, starting off as a drug dealer, and that is to help people achieve a higher life. And it's true. I'm always trying to elevate people, and that's one of the reasons I'm so passionate about massive abundance and helping buyers and sellers and real estate investing. I mean, I think it's one of the greatest things that are out there. So let's get into a couple things. One is step 2. We talked about passion, step 2. Just a couple points I want to make. Massive goals have to be linked to your vision. Make sure that your goals are massive. One of the things that I have, and I always have a hard time saying this, I haven't achieved in the last 15 years, I have not achieved my real estate goals for the last 15 years. You believe that? I haven't achieved one real estate goal in the last 15 years. But I'm increasing at a failing rate. I have a hard time saying that, if you know what I mean. I'm making more money and I'm spending less time doing it, but my goals are so aggressive, I never meet them. But my goals are super sexy. My goals are super exciting to me because I know that if I ever hit that number, oh my God, you know, it really gets me focused. One of the things that I do that I think is a really good thing that everybody should do is to review your goals every single day. One of the things I do is I get up in the morning, after I go swimming, after I have a healthy breakfast, I sit down in a quiet room, and sometimes I take 5 minutes, sometimes I take 30 minutes. But I write down everything I'm grateful for. I write down my affirmations, what I want to see what happened, and then finally I actually rewrite my goals. I mean, I'm not going to tell you what they are right now, but I have 15 goals. And I rewrite them almost every single day because I don't want them to be just a business plan that I put in the drawer and I never look again for another year. So make sure those things are in front of you. Diamond down your niche. I think it's really important that all of us, it's the biggest mistake I made when I started real estate in San Francisco, is I didn't concentrate in a specific area. I think it's really, every successful real estate broker that I've met, that I've interviewed, that I've talked to, they have some kind of niche, whether it's a particular building, a particular neighborhood, a particular type of home, a particular buyer prototype, a seller prototype. Consider I call it diamond down because, you know, a diamond's created when all the earth puts a lot of pressure on one piece of carbon, and that's how a diamond's created. That's what you guys need to do, is put a lot of pressure, put a lot of energy, I should say, into one particular area, and it's not too late because I'm starting to do it right now. Everybody should have 5 targeted marketing goals, 5 targeted marketing goals that you're doing consistently. When brokers come to me and they say, Chris, how can you help me? The very first thing I say to them is, ask them is, what are you doing from a marketing standpoint, and what are you doing consistently? And the biggest problem, I mean, I have the same issue, but the biggest problem that we all have to do is find what we like. Use our body, use that approach, find what do we like to do. I don't do open houses, you know, but I kick butt in other areas that I really like to do, and I do it consistently. 8 to 10 in the morning, almost every single day, 5 days a week. I mean, I started my whole business doing cold calls and door knocking. And I did that every single day, 5 days a week, between 8 and 10. And the great thing is, if you get it done first thing, it's like working out in the gym. If you get it done first thing in the day, then it doesn't, your rest of your day can go to hell in a handbasket, and it doesn't matter. You still feel good that you worked and you put the energy towards filling your pipeline with future deals. I talk about conquering fear with Kaizen. Has anybody heard of Kaizen here? Kaizen's a great ancient philosophy that talks about the road of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. And if you're fearful about doing things like I was about knocking on doors, you know, you just take baby steps all the time. You just take little baby steps so that you circumvent the amygdala, which is your thing in your brain that governs the fight or flight. That's another thing I have a hard time saying. Fight or flight response. If you start taking little baby steps, like you want to start cold calling, and you're freaking out, I'm going to cold call 200 homes. Well, that's pretty overwhelming. It's pretty daunting. But if you think to yourself, well, maybe I'm just going to go in on Monday and I'm going to identify maybe the first 10 houses that I'm going to call. And then maybe the Tuesday you actually take small steps and you just find the phone numbers, or you find out what their names are and put that in a list. Then Wednesday, maybe your goal is to call 1. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's all that daunting when you can break it down into very small chunks. That's what Kaizen is all about. Eating clean. This is one of the biggest things that I've talked about. I think it's so important from the energy standpoint. Me personally anyways, I need to really watch what I eat and drink, especially on days that I'm going to be working. I'll tell you, everybody, you have one job in this life, and that is to feel good. That is the only job that you have in your life and in your business, and I feel really passionate about this, is you have to feel good. If you don't feel good physically and mentally, you are no good for your children, you are no good for your partners, and you sure as hell not any good for your business. You will be the most productive when you can figure out what is it that I can do to make myself feel good. And I know it sounds really simple, but I do have an idea. I love talking about this food plan because everyone shakes their head and says, Chris, you're crazy. But there's in your pamphlet here at the very bottom, there is a link, massivabundanceinc.com, JJ Virgin. Has anybody here heard of JJ Virgin? Okay, JJ Virgin, check out the link. She has a really cool free food program that you could do. And don't kill me now when I tell you this, but basically it's 7 foods that you should not eat. You don't eat 7 foods for 3 weeks. That's it. And the reason is because these 7 foods, most of us, and we don't even know in the United States, are allergic to them. And so if you don't eat these 7 foods for 3 weeks, and then you reintroduce those foods back into your diet, then you'll figure out which foods you're allergic to and which you're not allergic to. I mean, I'm telling you, I did this program. I lost 15 pounds in 3 weeks. It has completely cleared the brain fog. I've become so much more creative, so much more energetic. I sleep so much better. And it's because I didn't realize I was allergic to gluten. And I was eating a lot of bread and crackers that have all this gluten in it. And it was really slowing me down. It was like Elmer's glue going through my body. So, and everybody always says, okay, name the 7 foods. And I always have a hard time doing it. So it's corn, gluten, eggs, dairy, sugar, and what else is there? sugar. I can't remember what the other ones are. But check out the website. And I know it sounds
Right.
not alcohol, but gluten is one of them. Yeah, gluten, corn, dairy, eggs, sugar, soy. Soy is another one. And the last one I can't remember. It's not caffeine. Huh? Peanuts. Peanuts. That's what it is, peanuts. Peanuts and corn in this country are all genetically modified. I don't know if everybody knew that. They said something silly like 50% of the United States population is either food allergic or sensitive to gluten, all the bread that you eat. So there's a lot of different reasons. Dairy and eggs a lot of that is just filled with hormones and all kinds of stuff that we shouldn't be in our bodies. But check out the website and try it. I mean, if you just do a little bit of this, you're going to feel so much better. So again, eating clean is one of the best ways that you guys can feel good, because that is your only job in life, is to feel good, so that it carries over into every other aspect of your business. And step 4. So we talked about setting the passion, setting the goals, manifesting things into your existence is step 3. Step 4, everybody here should be involved in a mastermind group. Anybody in a mastermind group here? Okay. Mastermind group is the easiest way, it's the cheapest way, it's free for you to really incent yourself, motivate yourself, get great new ideas, and have a lot of fun. And that's learning from your peers and other marketplaces. If you guys here at WCC found a real estate agent like me in San Francisco or in Alameda or Napa Valley or somebody that would want to get on the phone with you once or twice a month and start talking to and sharing what you're doing with your business. They're going to share with you because you're not in the same marketplace, and so you feel free to share all your information. But you get great ideas. Find out what's working with them, what's not working with them. Mastermind groups are the way to go, and everybody in this room knows a real estate agent that's in another county that you could start with doing this with. I definitely would recommend that. Coaching. Finding somebody that is better than you in whatever that you want to do. And we have a coaching program that I'll talk about in a second. I think it's important that everybody go on an email diet. With the advent of smartphones, these things are taking over our lives, people. I mean, you know what emails are? Emails are nothing more than a great way for other people to schedule your day. That's essentially what it is. People nowadays, my business partner is one of them, has this damn iPhone and is checking every 2 minutes, checking the email. But if you want to increase your business and you want to start doing projects like cold calling or calling your sphere of influence, you have to create time for yourself. And I'd recommend that you create block time. Find time, whether it's 8 to 10, 8 to 8:30, whatever it is that you can do to create a consistent marketing time for yourself, and shut the phone up. Stop checking the email. Stop calling people. Don't do it, okay? Low information diet's the same thing. I can get depressed on my own. I don't need Fox News or CNN to tell me about the wars in the Philippines and who shot who in what city. And there was a good story that I heard, though. Well, I won't get into that. But you don't need that information, especially first thing in the day. It's just only going to color your day. You're going to get so depressed. If you want to get depressed by listening to the news, do it before you go to bed at night. That way you can sleep it off, I guess. And then 4 types of people that everybody should hang with. I always get a lot of flack from this. A good friend of mine talked to me about this. 4 types of people you should hang with. 1 is people that you can learn from. Number 2 is people you can teach, people you can make money with, and people you can have fun with. People you can learn from, people you can teach, people you can make money with, and people you can have fun with. If you have people in your life right now that don't fit in one of those 4 categories, fire their happy butts. I'm serious. You don't need these energy vampires sucking the energy out of your life. But then everybody else says to me, well, Chris, what happens if I'm married to him? That's a problem. And I'm not advocating divorce, but there are ways to handle that. But seriously, get rid of the people that aren't serving you. And then virtual assistants. I don't know if anybody uses VAs here. It's a great way to have somebody do things for you at a very cheap hourly rate. If you just Google virtual assistant, you'll get 14,000 hits. People from the Philippines, people from The best ones now, I guess, are the Philippines and India, where they will do things for you. These people are absolutely brilliant, and they will do things for you where you don't physically need somebody next to you, and they'll do it for like $5 an hour, $8 an hour.